Here are the AR-6s, and I just want to let you know some of what I've done. The first thing I did was I sanded them. Then I went back and I painted the top with a latex flat black just to give it a little finish on the baffles. Then after that I stained them just to give it a nice finish with the stain. Then I used some Danish oil. This Danish oil helps because it penetrates into the wood and also puts a nice layer on top of the wood. Then after that, what I did was I used some steel wool and I rubbed it down with steel wool to really finish them off, give it a nice smooth surface. And then the final thing that I did was I used some wax. Sometimes I use butcher's wax, but this time I use wax called feed and wax. It's a nice wax, and it gave it a nice finish, a nice smooth finish, lovely finish. Okay, it's going to be a little noisy out here because people are doing work in their grass and their yards and things like that. So I'm going to show you just a few of the products that I use when I'm refinishing my speakers. And I use this product. It's a wipe-on polyurethane. It's much easier than using a polyurethane that you brush on. So I like to use this. You wipe it on. You have to do it in several coats, maybe 2 to 3 coats of wipe-on, and it puts a surface finish on your woodworking. Versus, here's the noise, the Danish oil, one of my favorites. The Danish oil, this particular one is a natural finish Danish oil. This penetrates into the wood and also gives it a little bit of a surface finish also. Danish oil can also be purchased in the medium walnut. This one's a medium walnut. So you can get them in different colors too. So this one stains a little bit and goes into the finish a little. But I also keep a series of stains. So this one is a red mahogany stain that I use. Sometimes you may have to add or use different colors in your staining. The other product that I like is this, what they call Resto Finish by Howard. And Howard makes this Resto Finish. You can buy these from the big box stores. I'm not going to give a plug for any of the big box stores, but you can buy this from the big box store. So this one is walnut. This one is dark walnut. Sometimes you may get a speaker and it has some surface scratches on it, and you just put a little bit of this Resto Finish on it and it may take it away and you don't have to do any sanding. Now my speakers, the ARs that I was working on, I gave them a coating of, I sanded them down a little bit by hand. I didn't use any power sanding. Then I put a finish of this black latex semi-gloss on the front of the speakers just to make them look a little bit better, a little prettier. Because the AR speakers and many speakers that time period, like Dynacos, they didn't do that. They just painted it enough just so that it would look good with the grill cover in front. Sometimes you have to fill gaps. So Minwax made this wood putty, and it comes in different colors. Minwax also makes these what we call blending sticks. So you may have an area where you can use these to fill in little cracks, usually around the edges or the corners. A little bit more expensive set is this Mohawk set that's used for kitchen cabinets, and it has many different colors in it. So you can really do a nice fine job of trying to blend and fix repairs with this. I was fortunate enough to go to a yard sale, and I was able to get this at a yard sale. This product is a repair kit that has two different putties with epoxy in them, and when you mix them together, you fill in gaps. But it also has this, which looks like Elmer's glue, but it's a wood hardener. And I may have to use this on the project that I'm working on now. It's a wood hardener. This product right here is what I use to finish the job. This is the old-fashioned style butcher's wax. And this one just happens to be the amber color. So I'll put this on, rub it in, and then let it dry, and then buff it back out. And the latest thing that I love this stuff right here. This is Howard's Feed and Wax. So it has like a orange oil. You put this on the speaker or on the woodworking, any kind of cabinetry, and let it set for 20 minutes. After you let it set for 20 minutes, then you buff it out, and it really gives a nice finish. I did this on the AR-6s that I'm working on right now, and it really gave it a nice finish. So if you get old speakers and you just need to run out and try to find something, first thing I would do is just get some Resto finish. If it's not really super bad, get some Resto finish and rub this in and see what it looks like. This may be enough. Resto finish is made by Howard, and also Feed and Wax is made by Howard. So these two, if you start out with these two, you may finish the job and get a nice job with just these two by themselves. But if you need some serious work, sand it down, usually by hand. Sometimes I use a random orbitable sander, but by hand is good. Or if it's really serious, I'll strip it, and then I'll take some steel wool and clean it up real good, and then I'll stain it again. Stain it, bring life back to the wood, and then I'll put one of these two finishes on, either the Danish oil or the wipe-on poly. Either one is good, so your choice. This one is going to be basically mainly put all the finish on the surface of the wood, and this one is going to penetrate the oil into the wood. This is my favorite right here, this one, because it penetrates into the wood, and it kind of like gives life back to the wood. Remember, wood is an organic product, so you can feed it, and I think that's why they call this one Feed and Wax, because it's feeding nutrients back into the wood. So often I don't go into the products that I use, and so I thought today would be important to just kind of go into what I use when I'm refinishing the speakers. You just usually see the finished product, but not what actually went on and what was involved in the product. Sorry for the noise out here. I'll try and edit out some of it.